The Army, Air Force and Navy chiefs are all at the National Defence Academy today in Pune after the order from the Supreme Court ordering the government to allow women to take the NDA entrance exams. The commandant of the NDA will be presenting a study with recommendations on the changes which will be required to be incorporated for the entry of women candidates in the NDA, a move that grants women the opportunity for permanent commission in the forces as soon as they are recruited. At the moment, women are recruited as short service commission officers and later considered for permanent commission. Well, let's go across to Vishnu for more. So, Vishnu, interesting developments, exciting developments, really. Tell us more about what, is going into consideration as they discuss this issue.
So, the service chiefs are actually at the National Defence Academy in Khadakwasla. It's the beginning of a process based on a Supreme Court order which says that women need to, or can, if they choose, take the National Defence Academy examinations for admission into the NDA. If you become an NDA candidate, then you have a permanent commission in the Indian Armed Forces. At the moment, Indian women can join the Indian Armed Forces in many areas. However, they are considered first for short service commission. And only after a number of years will they be considered for a permanent commission. So the petitioners in this case have argued that that is discriminatory and it is puts a challenge to the growth prospects of women in the Indian Armed Forces. So what the Supreme Court did a few days back was, in fairly scathing observations made in court, said that the armed forces, specifically the army, were basing their policy on gender discrimination. They've said that it was absurd that the Supreme Court would need to pass orders to ensure that there was gender parity in the process of accepting women in the armed forces. And there were many other such comments. And the basic one was that NDA admissions need to be allowed for people of both sexes. So now what has taken place is that on the basis of this order, which was absolutely clear, the three service chiefs have gone to the National Defence Academy. The commandant of the NDA is giving them a proposal, and they now need to figure out how to incorporate women into what has been a male bastion. So this is a revolution in terms of how women will be in the armed forces in our country. What is the structure of training that they're going to go through? What are the roles that they will be allowed to ultimately get into? Women are already present in most areas, but not in the combat arms in the Indian Army. However, they are in combat roles in the Indian Air Force because there are women fighter pilots. The Navy, in a sense, was the worst off among all the three services. Till recently, women were not deployed on board Indian Navy warships. But now, for example, on the new aircraft carrier Vikrant, which I was on board a few days back, there are provisions for women to be on board. But now it's what the general message of the Supreme Court is that this now needs to end once and for all. And there needs to be parity in admission and service for women in India's armed forces, which is a wonderful step, couldn't have come a day later.
All right, Vishnu, thanks so much for joining us with that. So the Army, Air Force and Navy chiefs are all at the NDA discussing this process after that order by the Supreme Court.